You want financials?
Tell him we going for Canelo next.
Yes. Let's
him.
go. Canelo, come on.
Reports are buzzing that Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford are set to meet this May, with Turkey securing Canelo in an electrifying 3-fight deal.
I don't know if we'll get Terence Crawford. I think Crawford is looking at just a huge fight with Canelo, and if he doesn't get it, he might not even fight anymore. Because he's told me that before.
Just put me in the game, coach. Just put me in the game. Canelo Crawford, the biggest fight.
Top trainer Robert Garcia recently stoked the excitement, hinting he had heard the fight could happen. Could this dream matchup take place during Canelo's usual Cinco de Mayo fight date in 2025? Meanwhile, Turkey has succeeded in finalizing a 3-fight deal with Canelo, and that hints towards a Crawford fight, which was Turkey's wish for a long time now. Meanwhile, reports say Crawford is among Canelo's shortlist for May, with Saudi billionaire Turki Alalshikh rumored to be a driving force behind the deal. If confirmed, the fight could bring the action back to Las Vegas, a stage fit for this monumental battle. Robert Garcia acknowledged fan skepticism about the matchup, as many view the fight as a major mismatch due to the size and weight differences. Garcia expressed confidence in Crawford's ability to rise to the situation.
I think a fight with Terence Crawford will be big, Even though a lot of people might think it's a total mismatch, I think Crawford puts up a good fight.
Canelo, the undisputed super middleweight king, has cemented his legacy with a dominant record of the 2nd of February 62, 39 KOs. Known for his power, precision, and relentless aggression, the Mexican superstar remains a force even as he enters his mid-30s. Sean Porter, former welterweight champion and boxing analyst, shared his worries about the potential mega fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, while acknowledging the appeal of such a high-profile battle. Porter questioned the practicality and fairness of Crawford moving up to weight classes to face a dominant super middleweight champion like Canelo.
The others say no, that's 2 more weight classes. Once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he's still got that kind of steam. But
Porter voiced unease about the physical disparity between the two fighters, noting that Crawford, despite his extraordinary skills, might be at a significant disadvantage against the naturally larger and more powerful Alvarez.
There's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo have, and how we find how they even out and who trumps one another, you know what I mean? We tried to do that with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and we see how that panned out, you know what I mean?
On the other hand, Crawford is unbeaten at 41, and Z31Ks, and a 4-division winner would dare to be great, stepping up to weight classes to 168 pounds despite giving up size. Crawford's technical brilliance and strategic acumen make him a dangerous opponent even against someone of Canelo's stature. Paulie Malignaggi shared his view.
I do wonder how effective Crawford can be if he keeps moving up in weight. You're starting to see that, now he's not quite as strong. The knockout streak is over. But he can box really, really well. But Madrimov pressed him the whole fight. So obviously the power wasn't getting the respect that he might have gotten when he was a little at the smaller weight class.
Both fighters bring unique storylines to the T. Canelo at 30 may have shown slight signs of slowing down but still deserves respect as one of the sport's most complete athletes. Crawford, at 37, has showed no such decline, but time is always a question mark in boxing. To fight, if it materializes, offers a clash of styles. Canelo's power meets Crawford's finesse.
And remember, Canelo is a guy who presses a lot. That's one thing Canelo does. Canelo's not very active, but he gets in your face and he mentally presses you a lot by cutting off the ring, getting in your face. So I start to wonder if going up to super middleweight is going to be a bridge too far for Crawford. But hey, man, he got the win, and I guess that's going to be the talking point from now as well.
When you say, I want Canelo, is there anybody in the camp that would say, you're not ready for this?
That's a big boy. He's strong. That's a conversation. It's not just, oh, man, you will whoop his ass.
Yes, man type stuff.
I'm not.
Critics have long accused Canelo Alvarez of avoiding a fight with Terence Crawford, claiming the Mexican superstar doesn't see enough financial incentive or unique challenge in facing a smaller opponent despite Crawford's undisputed dominance across multiple weight classes and his growing reputation as one of boxing's best pound-for-pound fighters. Canelo has downplayed the matchup's importance.
You know, everybody wants to fight me. Everybody calling me out and everything. And you know, like I say, I have nothing to win with Crawford. 2-3 weights class less than me. But if the money is right, why not? Right?
He's openly stated that Crawford, while talented, doesn't bring enough excitement or revenue potential to the table. Some see this as a strategic move by Canelo to focus on more lucrative or favorable fights, leaving fans wondering if this dream bout will ever materialize. But once Canelo himself has hinted at his readiness to take on the challenge, stating in an interview, "I'm in, why not? Don't get me wrong. He's a great fighter, but for me, in my weight class, it's an easy fight. Easy money's confidence is matched by Crawford's desire to prove his greatness by moving up in weight." Terence Crawford reacted to Canelo Alvarez's comments by calling him easy work and challenging him to take the offer made by Turki Alalshikh. Crawford stated that Canelo's refusal to accept the deal and step into the ring with him was a clear indication that he was avoiding to fight because deep down he knew he would lose.
If I'm easy work, I heard him say I'm easy work. If I was easy work, well, you know, you would take all that money that he's offering you. But yet and still, he want 200 million for Benavidez, and he want 150 million to fight me. So that just lets me know right there that I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to his legacy.
Tim Bradley emphasized Crawford's unique standing in boxing, dismissing comparisons to fighters like Jermall Charlo while admitting the challenge of moving up even further to face Canelo Alvarez. Bradley expressed confidence in Crawford's determination, thinking his skills make the seemingly impossible achievable.
But I wouldn't mind seeing it.
Me too. Me too.
I don't know what the fuss is about. You know, Crawford ain't no damn Jermall Charlo or Charlo. He ain't none of them guys. Crawford's a different animal. This dude's #1 pound for pound, whether you have him on his list or not. Like, he's one of the top dogs in the game. You know, he traveled up 4 weight classes, got the job done. You know, a couple more weight classes. Yeah, it sounds crazy. It's never been done in boxing, but I think anything is possible.
Bradley supported Crawford's willingness to accept challenges, framing the potential matchup with Canelo as one of boxing's most intriguing possibilities. He noted the risks of such a fight, including the chance of a knockout, but voiced doubt that Canelo could stop Crawford. Bradley's comments underscored the unpredictability of the bout, making it a must-see event for fans of the sport.
You know, he's just a guy. It's a guy. He wants that challenge, and why not? You know, why not Canelo? You know, he knocks him out. He knocks him out. That's just what it is. What it is at the end of the day. But I still want to see it, and I don't think Canelo knocks out Terence Crawford.
Andre Rozier, a highly respected figure in boxing, recently weighed in on the buzz surrounding a possible showdown between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. Rozier voiced admiration for Crawford's exceptional skills, but cautioned against the idea of Crawford leaping to face Canelo at super middleweight.
The only thing he could possibly do at this point to regain that status is to beat someone of note in another weight class.
Rozier believes Crawford's move up to 154 pounds would be a logical progression aligning with his physical capabilities and skill set. However, he considers a jump to face Canelo at 168 pounds a dangerous and possibly insurmountable challenge. Canelo is a different beast at that weight, Rozier stated, emphasizing the risk Crawford would face against a physically dominant fighter.
I think 54 is going to be enough for him. Him going up to fighting, quote unquote, if it should happen, Canelo, I don't see that ending well. It's just too much and too far to go. But that's what it would take.
Robusta expressed a strong opinion that Canelo Alvarez would dominate Terence Crawford in a potential fight, focusing on the differences and how each fighter would prepare for a bout at 168 pounds. He argued that Canelo, who is already accustomed to fighting at this weight, would have a major advantage over Crawford, who would need to move up in weight for the first time. Asta downplayed the impact of fan opinion, stating his conviction that Canelo would still outclass Crawford.
I think Canelo still bodies Crawford. I don't know what the fans feel. Because at the end of the day, Canelo's coming down from a weight where Crawford's going to eat his way up to a weight. In order, and I'm going to keep saying, over and over and over. In order for you to go up in weight classes, to be dominant, to carry the power, to carry the speed, to carry the physics, the way that your body's supposed to carry that weight, you got to gradually move yourself up. There's a reason why bodybuilders, weightlifters, athletes that compete for specific events, they gradually work themselves up.
Rob Esta explained his view on Crawford's decision to move up and weight, emphasizing the challenges that come with it. He stated that Crawford, in this sense, is trying to do a jump from one to the other based on the ability that he is a good boxer. He's a great fighter. You know, he's a Hall of Famer. So yeah, he does have that ability to go in there. He acknowledged Crawford's incredible skill, but also pointed out the dangers of jumping up in weight, suggesting it isn't an easy job, especially when facing someone like Canelo. Esta continued to elaborate on Crawford's possible approach to fight, saying, "Do I think that Crawford is going to fight Canelo like the way he did last night? No. I think he'll fight a lot more smartly. I got him fighting more like a Spence type of thinking." He expected that Crawford would fight with a more strategic mindset, similar to the approach he took against Errol Spence, emphasizing knowledge and tactical control over the aggressive tactics seen in other bouts. Esta acknowledged Crawford's greatness and Hall of Fame potential, but warned that moving up in weight to face Canelo is no simple feat. He emphasized the importance of weight classes and voiced his opinion that Canelo's size and power would ultimately be too much for him.
So I do believe that Canelo still is gonna put him to sleep. But there's weight classes for a reason. You know what I mean? I think Crawford's still gonna go in the Hall of Fame. I still think Crawford's great, but slow your roll a little bit.
Keith Thurman, a former world champion and respected boxing analyst, recently shared his insights on why Terence Crawford might think he has a real chance against Canelo Alvarez. Thurman pointed to Canelo's recent fight with Charlo, dissecting key moments that could shape Crawford's approach. According to Thurman, Crawford's analytical thinking and ability to spot patterns in his opponent's performances could be the driving force behind his confidence.
And when Canelo fought Charlo, besides the knockdown, Charlo was able to protect himself very well against Canelo's onslaught. The only problem was, while protecting himself, there was no offense.
Thurman noticed that after Charlo was knocked down, his defensive adjustments limited further damage but came at the cost of offensive output. Charlo's lack of counterattacks allowed Canelo to keep control and impose his will. In contrast, Crawford thrives in situations requiring both defensive resilience and attacking ingenuity.
And I believe, seeing what I saw, I believe Crawford saw the same thing. If Charlo can go so untouched by just being, once he got dropped, spider senses, boom, fully awakened, right? Boom. So now hands up, don't make no mistakes. So, that's how it is. We saw it in the Munguia fight. We saw it in the last fight. It's those little mistakes that end up having big consequences against Canelo, right?
Oscar de la Hoya shared his views on the struggles of getting major boxing bouts to materialize, stressing the difficulties that arise when fighters demand excessive compensation. Drawing on his vast experience as both a champion and promoter, de la Hoya focused on Turki Alalshikh's dedication to facilitating the best possible matchups despite the financial hurdles. He stated that the one thing that I admire about his excellency in Turkey is that he wants to make the best fights. That's basically it. And a lot of fighters, they outprice themselves. Therefore, the fans lose, and we can't watch those fights. De la Hoya directly addressed the situation surrounding Canelo's $200 million demand, suggesting that such an amount signifies a lack of interest in facing Crawford. He contrasted this with Turkey's method, calling it the breath of fresh air for boxing as it prioritizes reasonable compensation and brings the desired matchups to fans.
Turkey wants to make the best fights, and that's a breath of fresh air. That's music to my ears, because now you have fighters who are pricing themselves out and fighters who basically don't want to fight each other. And that, to me, as a promoter, is the worst thing I can ever hear from a fighter.
He continued, but now Turkey is coming in, paying money, but he's not paying absurd amounts of money that fights are not worth. He's being reasonable, he's paying premiums, but a perfect example is Canelo asking $200 million to fight against Crawford. In other words, that means he doesn't want to fight. That's basically it, so I just feel that Turki is a breath of fresh air. He's making the fights that people want to see, and we're all working together to La Hoy and by emphasizing the positive effect Turki has on the sport, stating, so basically, Canelo doesn't want to give us the good fights when you have Turki, who is making the best fights, who literally wants to make the best fights, and he's forking over the bill. My guest, please make more. It's great for boxing. He's actually saving boxing. Chino Rivas raised concerns about Terence Crawford moving up to face Canelo Alvarez, especially due to Crawford's age and the physical challenges involved. Rivas highlighted Crawford's vulnerability in his previous fight, saying that Canelo, being much larger, would be a far too difficult opponent for Crawford, especially given their weight disparity.
37 years old. When he fought Spence, I saw on 2 occasions, Spence was not able to land a solid shot, grazed him, and he was able to, hurt him a little. If you see the fight, very carefully, you see his reaction.
He stressed that Crawford, who may only reach 1-60 PBS, would be physically overmatched by Canelo's size and power, eventually advising against the fight unless there was a significant financial incentive. RBAS wanted to see Crawford face Jermall Charlo at 150 for pounds, where the fight would be more competitive.
He's just too big. He's just a different animal. Leave the Canelo for the big boys like the David Benavidez, the Morel, all the others, coming in that weight class. He's a 47-pound. You saw what happened with a 54-pounder who's 6 foot tall, 6'1". Yeah, I mean, how easily he manhandled him. Just imagine what he would do, to somebody who, I think the biggest he gets is about 160.
He said, I know Crawford's people and Crawford are smart enough to understand that even though it's a payday, just leave that alone. I mean, unless they talk about that, they guarantee him 50 now. Well, then it's a business side as well. Stephen A. Smith, the outspoken sports commentator, also recently weighed in on the possible showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, known for his bold analysis. Smith looked into the strengths and weaknesses of both fighters. While he recognized Crawford's exceptional boxing technique, he also stressed the physical advantages Canelo holds, especially in terms of power and aggression. Smith stated that Crawford's skill could pose a challenge for Canelo.
Crawford would be the superior boxer, as great as Canelo is, as seasoned as he is, with 65 fights, if I recall, on his record. He's phenomenal. But Crawford is something special. I think that he's a better pure boxer. I think boxing-wise, he's going to give Canelo fits. My concern is that he won't hurt Canelo. And if he doesn't hurt Canelo and can't hurt Canelo...
But he warned that without the knockout power to match Canelo's, Crawford could struggle against the Mexican powerhouse's relentless offense. He stressed that a well-timed shot from Canelo could be the deciding factor in this high-stakes fight.
Canelo is a very powerful individual who can get exposed by a boxer because every shot he throws, he's trying to make it a power shot. But to me, can Crawford hurt him? I would pick Crawford to win if he can box and stay away. I don't believe he can hurt Canelo. And if Canelo catches him, it could be trouble. But I would still say it would be a very interesting fight. I just believe that Crawford hasn't been in the ring with anybody this powerful.
For fans, this is more than a fight. It's a historic event pitting two generational talents against each other in a battle that could redefine their reputations. Could this be the modern-day Dare to be Great? Showdown boxing fans worldwide are excitedly waiting for official confirmation, and if it happens, the stakes will be sky-high. Who do you see taking the crown in this possible mega fight? Let us know your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe for all the latest information on this historic matchup.